24, 72, hut hut, hike! The John Madden Football series is such an iconic franchise, and it really helped put the Sega Genesis on the sports game map. The immortal John Hancock here with a fun video. I'm going to be taking a look at all 9 John Madden football games that were released on the Sega Genesis and ranking them. I've done previous ranking videos, and the link will be below for those. There also will be a link if you want to rank it yourself. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button and click the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. And in today's video, I'm going to be using a 10-point scale, and the point scale is there. And that is going to determine which grade I give each of these John Madden games. You're going to have your favorite. They may be different than mine. That's okay. Our opinions can be different and we can still be friends. All right. So I'm going to get going, and just want to say I'm a huge fan of the Madden series and played football myself and love to still watch football to this day. And so having a lot of fun doing these ranking videos, and I thought I'd do a little bit different today, just taking a subset, all the Madden football games, and ranking it, and let's get going. All right, first up is John Madden Football, and this is the very first game to come out on the Sega Genesis, and this is typically found in a cardboard box. However, there is a rare variation on retro game randomness, and there's a clamshell version of this game. It's very difficult to find, one of the very few variations I don't have in my Sega Genesis library, but it's awesome. Now, the original John Madden was fairly limited to today's standards. It only had 17 teams. So even though it was lacking some features, and it hasn't aged as well as some of the others, it has that arcade feel. I think there's some fans out there that love to play the classic Madden, even though it doesn't have all the teams. That's its biggest downfall. And so I still think this is fun to play. I lean towards the arcade feel of these football games, and I'm going to give this a B. Next up is one of my all-time favorite football games, and that is John Madden 92. And this took the arcade gameplay of the first one, which was good, and made it a lot better with all 28 teams of the time, had weather conditions, but most of all, I think this is just a great balance of fun arcade feel with just a little bit of silliness, and that's the type of sports games that I like. Let's talk about that ambulance. So in this game, it was a weird feature. It was a funny feature. The ambulance would come on and knock everybody else off the field. I thought that was hilarious. I love this game. I played this quite a bit back in the day. I still think it holds up. This is an S. Gotta love all those extra features too. And it had a bunch of extra goodies in it. As you can see there, tons of extra things in these. And so I'm going to show some of the variations as we go along too. So next up, I would say is a fan favorite, and that's John Madden Football 93. And so as time went on, they just kept adding more and more and more. And the big thing about this version is that it had a battery save backup. And so it has 8 all-time Madden teams in it, and has the famous coin toss, as well as the introduction, even though it's kind of terrible in this, the Madden voice. And so I would say John Madden 93 is a perfect balance of arcade and sim. And so there is a variation of this game. There's a EA Sports Network logo on one of these, and this is the first round, the limited edition. It doesn't mean it's worth anything, but anyways, there's this version of the game. And then they got sued, and they got sued and they settled out of court with ESPN, and then they changed it to this version of the game title, and so John Madden Football. And so both are fairly easy to find, but either way, this is a great John Madden game. It's one of my favorite, and I'm going to give it a solid A. I think there's a lot to enjoy. There's lots of extras that they added in Madden 93, especially, the no huddle offense as well is a nice feature that they added to that. And so those are great. Now, there is a rental exclusive, and it is a lot more expensive because it is harder to find, and there is some variations of it. This is one variation, and that's John Madden Football Championship. So what they did is they took the engine from essentially John Madden 93 and did nothing but all 38 championship teams plus 2 all Madden teams. What's kind of cool about this game is that it's kind of timeless. You know, if you're a fan of a particular team, you're gonna find a lot of great championship teams of all time. You know, what is your favorite championship team of all time? It's probably gonna be on here. So anyways, I love this version of the game. It is pretty tough. There is a variation of this game as well, has a different circle sticker there, and so I give this an A as well. I think this is great. It's perfect balance between arcade feel and sim. There's just a ton to like about these early Maddens on the Genesis. And so moving forward, it goes to Madden 94. Now, in my opinion, Madden 94 is bigger and not better, okay? I think, though, it has 80 teams, okay? Running is a little bit too easy in this game. I found it just too easy, and tackling is just a little bit more difficult. And so that kind of takes away from it. You know, for some people, they're going to like that. For me, I would prefer 93 over 94. It all depends on what you grew up with, what experiences you had, and what you got used to playing. So in my opinion, I think 94 is good. It's a solid B. B's good. I like 93 better. I think it plays a little better and a little bit tighter gameplay. But in this, so the big thing with Madden 94 is the 4-player edition. And so a lot of people are going to enjoy that if you want to play this with friends. A lot of people think this is just as good as 93 because of that. Now, I just like the gameplay better with 93. But for 4-player people out there, Madden 94 is an amazing one and a solid pick. It's still a B. As the series moved on, it moved towards sim, and for some people, such as myself, I just wasn't a fan. Now, Madden 95 is known to be the one that got rid of the passing windows, and the nice thing about that is that you could see the depth of your receivers. It was a little bit easier to pass. There was 2-point conversions, there was better sound, but I just think it looks bad. You know, some people like the animation, but overall, this doesn't look great. New 3D rendered, you know, they advertise the graphics being better. Overall, to me, just was missing some of what I liked about Madden 94 and definitely missing what I liked about Madden 93. Overall, I'm not a big fan of Madden 95, and that is a C. Yeah, it's just average for me. Even though an average Madden game is still better than most football games on the Sega Genesis, but just not a fan whatsoever. Well, they fixed that. They went back to the drawing board for Madden 96. And a good friend, Tommy Tallarico, was involved with this. It has great sound, better fields, faster gameplay. Some people think it's too fast. I think it's okay. It has end zone insignias of the teams. I think they did a lot right with Madden 96. In fact, of some of the later Madden games, I think it's one of the better ones. The graphics still don't do it for me. I don't know what it is. There is a free agency. You can create a player. There's lots of additional features for that. But Madden 96 is a B. Some people aren't going to like that gameplay. I think it's a little bit too tough, but a little too fast. But for me, I think it's way better than Madden 95. So definitely solid B there. Next comes Madden 97, and by now, you know, Madden 97 was the first one that was offered on next gen at the time consoles, and so you could really start to see kind of some of the quality of you know, the later Maddens. You know, you could see that some of the resources were being used for some of the other next gen teams. You know, for me, the player fatigue. You know, there was more options, but for me, 97 is a good example. It was way more sim and slower gameplay. I was not a fan of that. It took away, you know, they took away some of that speed from 96. I think they were trying to accommodate and make it slower. And if you're more of a sim Madden fan, you're going to love John Madden 97. Now, there's 500 redesigned Madden plays. There's advanced personnel management. There's player sets. There's player fatigue. That's really cool. Custom leagues and tournaments. You know, but the graphics don't do it for me at all. And if you're really into those details of football and less of like the gameplay and arcade feel, Madden 97 is going to be your thing. For me, it's a C. Next up is the last Madden for the Sega Genesis, and that's Madden 98. And it's just a minor upgrade from Madden 97. So if you're not a fan of 97, you're not going to like 98. I didn't like the slow gameplay of either 97 or 98. And the big thing with this version is there's 2-minute quarters. I wish there was 2-minute quarters in previous versions of the John Madden series games. I think that having those fast games, but I'm kind of an arcade style player anyways, you know, that's not realistic. And so Madden really at this point was really trying to be more of a sim style game. It had enhanced computer AI, the team hot and cold streaks, replay of the last 10 Super Bowls. That's cool. The replay of the last 10 Super Bowls is neat. But to me, you know, the updated logos and uniforms, and there's 3 difficulty levels. All that to me doesn't matter because when it came down to it, this was kind of a slow mess and not my greatest Madden at all. And so I'm going to give this a C. So that's it. That's all the John Madden footballs ranked. What did you think? Here it is. And that's how I rank them. Obviously, I'm a fan of the earlier arcade-style Maddens. What are your favorites? I want to hear from you. Comment below. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and click the bell as I'm uploading every week. I am a huge football fan. I had a lot of fun talking about these Madden games. And there's some collectibles out there. And so if you're a fan of Madden games, comment below. What is your favorite year? And thank you so much for the ongoing support. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock. I'm getting close to 100,000 subs. And you have a good one.